Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. In this video, we are going to take a closer look at this Spinnaker Fleuss with the reference number SP-5055-01. Okay, before I proceed, I just want to make it very clear that this is a so-called sponsored content. A representative from Spinnaker Watches got in touch with me via my Instagram and asked if I would be interested to feature one of their watches. Before I said yes, I told them that I would be honest with my review. If the watch is good, I'll say that it's good. If it's bad, I will be brutally frank. They said okay, and here we are today. With that out of the way, let's move on. Oh, one last thing before we dive in. I did an unboxing video for this piece and I also talk about some background about the brand. So if you're interested to know a little bit more about the brand, please click the card at the top right corner of this video. Let's go into the specifications of the watch. This watch has a case diameter of 43 millimeters. It has a thickness of 12.7 millimeters. The lug-to-lug distance is 51 millimeters, which is too big for my chicken wrist. The lug width is 22 millimeters. The case is entirely brushed from the top of the lugs to the sides. It has two polished chamfer edges running along the case. It has a unidirectional 120 click dive bezel. The insert is an acrylic insert to give it a vintage feel. The markings on the bezel are Lume too. It has a Super Luminova C5 lume that gives it a yellowish patina look, which further emphasizes a vintage look and feel. The bezel action is solid. And there is hardly any backplay. But due to the low profile, sometimes it's a little hard to grip the bezel, especially if you have wet or oily fingers. Overall, the build and finish is very impressive. The dial is protected by a flat sapphire crystal with some purplish AR coating. I'm not sure whether I can show it here, but the AR treatment is not specified on their website. I'm not sure why. It has a water resistance of 150 meters, which is acceptable, I guess. And it also has a screw down crown that is signed. I find the dial very interesting on this piece. If you looked at my collection, you'll know that I have a fetish for textured dial. The black textured dial looks like old plastic panels in some vintage cars. Again, it gives the watch a more vintage look, and the Cadillac-like logo certainly completes it in my opinion. The markers are filled with the same C5 lume as on the bezel. 12, 9 and 6 are numerals and the rest are rectangular. The hands have a coarse brush finishing and they are filled with C5 too. Let me zoom in a little bit on the dial so that you can see the texture. Hopefully it's showing up in this lighting. And you can see that the hands, they have a coarse finishing. There is a date window with a black background that blends perfectly with the dial. The word automatic is printed in white and 500 feet or 150 meters is printed in red. This piece is powered by the Seiko NH35, which is the 4R35. When supplied to other watchmakers, Seiko calls it NH35, but when used in-house, it's called 4R35. It beats at 21,600 beats per hour. It is hand windable, it is hackable, it has a quick date setting, and it has a power reserve of approximately 40 hours. Here you can see a very nice custom rotor. It has an exhibition case back with a high polish finish with some typical engravings. I'm not sure if this is a mineral crystal or a sapphire crystal, but it's not a problem even if it's a mineral crystal because you'll be wearing it and it will be protected by your wrist. The supplied leather strap is a water resistant leather as can be seen on the back of the leather. I haven't really tested the water resistance, but I guess it should be able to withstand rain and some splashes. The leather is thick and feels nice. It has a brush and sign buckle. There is only one problem with this strap. After fasten, it's quite hard to remove it from the wrist. I guess I'll show you that during the wrist shot. So with that said, let's do a wrist shot. On my small 6-inch wrist, this thing really looked massive. The 51mm lug-to-lug distance doesn't help either. However, I really like the look of this piece. It takes inspiration from the Blancpain 50 Fathoms, which I am a fan of. Oh, as I mentioned earlier, it is quite hard to take off this piece when it's on. Let me just try to show you. It's on the last hole, so when I want to remove it, I really have to like pull very hard to be able to push the tongue from the buckle out. So now it's a bit easier because I'm trying to show you, but I think it could be due to the design of the tongue and buckle. Before we wrap up the video, I'm gonna do a Lume shot. So I will charge the watch with a UV light, then I'm gonna turn off all the lights. Okay, so this is how the watch looks like when it is dark. It looks pretty nice. The bezel are well lit and all the indices and the hands, they are well lit too. I would say the Lume is very good, but I'm not really sure how long they will last because I haven't really done like a proper Lume longevity testing, but I guess it should be good. Time to wrap this video up. Spinnaker has been grabbing a lot of attention on social media lately. Some of you might get bored of the brand already, I guess. I'm going to be very frank here. Before I got my hands on a Spinnaker, I thought to myself that most of the praises are BS. Well, when you are getting a free watch, you tend to say good things about it. But when I got my hands on one, thinking I could expose the BS and bash the heck out of it, boy, I was wrong. The build and finish is actually very good. I really like the design of this fleece too. After getting the watch, I tried really hard to think of some bad things that I could say, but honestly, there is nothing much. The few things that I can really complain about are the hard to grip bezel and maybe the hard to remove buckle. I could also complain about the size, but that would be something very subjective. Well, you could say that I may be biased because I got this watch for free. I can understand and I don't blame you. However, if you're willing to spend around $200 for a watch and you don't really care about the brand, this could be something to consider if you're into a vintage kind of look. Alright, that's it for this video. So if you're new to my channel, please help by subscribing to my channel. It does help me a lot, and you can also follow me on my Instagram at gfw_watch for more watch pictures. Till then, I will catch you guys in the next video. Bye bye.